Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. Happy Good Friday. I guess you can't very well say Good Friday. That's funny. Somehow that just seems somewhat inappropriate. I don't know, it just feels funny. But anyway, I hope you are having a wonderful day. And the energy that is so very intense on today. It's the mark of the initiation of transformation from simple self to supreme. And I look at this weekend as a celebration of that process, of that privilege. Let us certainly point out the privilege that it is to be privy to the possibility of that process, and then to engage and indulge or even surrender unto it, let alone to actually be a product of it and to be changed and transformed, ascended, evolved in any way, shape, and form, certainly is a pivotal point of celebration for any human being. And certainly if you can see a great, vast difference between yourself as a more simple, perhaps more primitive expression, to anything more matured and immaculate to some degree, but certainly supreme is the word that I like to use. It's something to definitely be celebrated. You know, I see this weekend and this holiday as a celebration of self, as well as, of course, the reflection of religious and spiritual doctrines that even I have grown up to ascribe to. It's not that anything takes away from those meanings of Jesus Christ and the presence and essence of that energy. It's just that each and every year it becomes more expansive and even more personal for me. That it's not so much of a story outside of myself as it is more or less a reflective story of myself that I'm watching from the inside out and the outside in all at the same time somehow. But anyway, enough about that. Happy Friday to you. I hope you are having a wonderful preparation for the rest of the festivities of this weekend, however you celebrate, if you celebrate. I always like to draw the ideals of celebration outside of the religious aspect, because as I said, it's deeper than just the celebration of a religious narrative to me, and it can be for anyone that chooses to kind of see that perspective for themselves. But those that have a deeper meaning and connection to it spiritually or religiously, certainly happy festivities to you. Still being mindful as you would on any holiday or any particular heightened experience of socializing, where you're going, what you're doing, what you're eating, who you're going with, especially on a time such as this that is so energetically intense. Whether you believe a certain way or not, the energy is there, and we've seen it, as I pointed out yesterday, even cosmically with the transitions that are happening in the cosmos between the full moon, the lunar eclipse, which that energy is still lingering. I don't I don't care what nobody says. I still feel those vibes, and we may still feel it for at least the next 6 months out, even perhaps. But and all the other transits that are underway, just govern yourself accordingly. Okay, treat yourself as a holy being, a sanctified specimen of sorts, where you're conscious of where you are, where you're going, who you're connecting with. Sanctify yourself, set yourself apart in a way, whether it applies religiously, spiritually, or none at all, where you just truly reverence your energy and the energetic space that you create and that you take up, and also that you have the power to transform. Okay, so here we go. Let's see where we are today. Oh, wow. That's what I'm talking about. Ace of Cups. Yes. Unconditional love. That's the anointing right there. Blessings, happiness, blissfulness. Total wish fulfillment, cup runneth over type of energy. I'm seeing this dove, and I'm hearing the scripture, the story where Jesus is ordained at the time of his baptism, publicly so anyway, where he's baptized by John the Baptist, and then he's raised out of the water, and a dove ascends upon him, and it's like, this is my son in whom I am very pleased, or who I am well pleased, or something to that effect. This is really putting a stamp of affirmation and confirmation on what I just said, in terms of how you reverence yourself, how important you are, how precious you are, how valuable, how powerful you are to the spirit and to the natural world. This is a confirmation of that. I love that to start. Certainly do. Ooh, hear that wind? I wonder if you can. It's a little violent out there, or just a bit strong. Let's see what else we got. Wow, yeah, that's definitely the material confirmation of high value here with the Queen of Pentacles, the most valuable queen in the deck. Let's see what else we got. Oh, commitment here. Okay. I might need to move this over, see what's on the other side of this commitment. Contract that is definitely blessed, and I'd say highly favored. I like where this is going. A commitment, an agreement of a highly spiritual nature. I would definitely veer into the love vibes here, with it being the Two of Cups with the Ace of Cups. Very emotional. And I mean, it's like, yeah, you could have a friendship where you could have friends that feel like soulmates. That's what this is giving, like soulmate vibes. You could certainly have friends that you consider soulmates. It's like, what would you do without them? So it could be an expression of friendship. But it's something very valuable and very precious about it. And very vitalizing or regenerative about it. As I spoke about, a baptism, it's like it has redemptive qualities or regenerative qualities. It can almost like, I don't know, like healing. That's what it is, healing qualities. Yes, like this is a partnership that is mutually healing, refreshing, and fulfilling. Wow, that's amazing. Let me get another one. Somebody is not receiving it. Somebody is either rejecting this or has rejected it. But this is given like feeling a little bit salty because there's a missed opportunity for this here. And in order for it to have, it's like the Queen of Pentacles is something very actual and practical. It's a particular position. You know, it's like not any type of woman could feel this partnership and have it be all the things that I just expressed it to be. You can't just take any old chick and plug her in here into this partnership and it's like, oh, the well is overflowing, you know, with love and peace, and everybody isn't ordained for every partnership, you know, spoiler alert, right? So it's given that somebody missed a very divine opportunity with in a way that can't be reclaimed or can't be like regenerated. Like this particular opportunity will never come around again. With this Four of Cups, and it's given that somebody is like salty about that because they had it at their fingertips and they passed it up or passed it by or let it pass them by, and there's really not much that can be done about it at the Four of Cups. You kind of have to move on or stay stuck. Oh man, what's this? Oh, that's the King of Cups. Yeah, like they're feeling some type of way. They want to turn back the hands of time and be loving now. But I don't think it's that simple. I don't think it's that simple. They want to reclaim what was lost or redeem what was lost. But when you got the Four of Cups, that speaks to the opportunity having already passed. And there's not anything that can be really done about it except for it to be accepting of the terms and to move forward in the best way that you possibly can. Oh, sniggity snap. Because somebody has already filled the position. That's a face-off right there, head to head. Pause. Oh, I could be so immature sometimes. Oh, man. But yeah, this is like, it's like you had your chance, bruh. Now let a real nigga step in. With all this passion and, somebody that ain't gonna flinch and that's gonna take the opportunity seriously, full thrust, full throttle. The Four of Cups is energy that had too many options before and they didn't feel inclined to make an indefinite choice. Maybe thought that they had better going for themselves than what was in front of them or what was presently available. Until, of course, that good old adage, you don't know what you got till it's gone. And it's not an option anymore. Then you start to rethink your steps. Reconsider your thought process. Ooh, this is somebody willing to put in the work too. It's his pleasure to put in the work. It's his passion to put in the work. Because what remains is the constant is the prize. And that's the nature of a partnership such as this. And, just the pure potential of the quality of this union, this partnership, this companionship. Two people on the same page, playing for the same team, sharing mutual feelings, both in love, And given that this is the King of Cups and here he is with the Four of Cups, it's like somebody was a sure shot at some point in time with all the cup energy, it kind of just fits, it made sense. But they didn't see themselves that way, or they didn't act upon it. And they didn't treat the opportunity as sacred. Back to what I was saying, with the whole anointing and ordinance. It's like somebody didn't see the pure value. It's like they felt like, oh, I could get that elsewhere, or I could come back to it, or I could. That is really given come back to it, especially with the Knight of Swords. Like, oh, I get to that when I feel like it, or if there's nothing else better out there, then maybe I'll get back around to it. But it's like, no, it's not that type of party. It's like you would have needed to have handled something with care while you had the opportunity, while you had the privilege, the honor to have access to a Queen of Pentacles. That's someone that's stable, secure, nurturing, domesticated, professional, prosperous, dependable, devoted. It's like, what more you need in a woman right there? She gonna take care of the home. She could make some coin and magnify some coin too. Taurus energy, she making everybody feel good, eat good, live good, taking care of home. You ain't got to worry about her stepping out. She's committed and dedicated to her responsibilities, to her role as a nurturer and a commitment. She knows her role well, and she is esteemed by it, like she takes it very seriously. And somebody with all of that, or it just never, it didn't, I don't know, I don't know what it wasn't apparent to him that all that was true. Or, as I said, they just felt like that was a dime a dozen. Like literally a dime comes a dime a dozen. And they fucked around and found out with that Four of Cups, that it's a whole lot of nothing out there, but it ain't a whole lot of something. Especially not a whole lot of something special. Something that was pretty much like damn near gift wrapped for you. And then, you know, as they say, another man's trash, one man's trash is another man's treasure. And that's what is given right here with the King of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles. Like, if you don't love her, don't waste her time. I'll take her. Brian McKnight. Who was that? Looked up and down, said, I'll take her. Who was that? LL Cool J? That's such an old song. If you don't want her, don't waste her time. I'll take her. I'll take her. I think that's the right key. Now I gotta go look up that song and I'm gonna post it. But it's an older song. I want to say it's LL Cool J featuring Brian McKnight, or the other way around. But it's definitely a rapper and Brian McKnight, because I know that voice for sure stands out. Well, that's how somebody felt. Like, ain't no time to waste. You know, they did what they needed to do, or committed to doing what they need to do to stabilize a foundation that is worthy of this love. As I said, somebody feels privileged and honored. It's not even really work. You know, this is devotion here that we're talking about. It ain't hard. And given it's the King of Wands, I love that energy together, because it's like, it's somebody that has the drive and the passion and the dedication to stay committed to that frequency. You know, like, passion can be fleeting, like, you know, in the expression of, say, lust, you know, but it's like somebody that got a lot stored up, a lot of passion stored up, and it's grounded, that it's like it'll never run out, or at least they'll do what they feel they need to do. However, they need to hold up their end of the bargain to keep the fire burning. That's what somebody is pleased to dedicate themselves to. I like that, because it's not even just about emotions and cups. It's like, what's love got to do with it? You know, like, a lot, obviously. But this is somebody that has something more substantial behind their emotions. I like that. Let's keep going a little bit, see what we got here. Three of Pentacles. Yeah, this might have been somebody that was held up, like I said, in too much extracurricular activity going on with the Three of Pentacles. Could be third parties or just other endeavors, you know. I don't know, like they just were distracted otherwise. And it's also given ulterior motive too, as to why someone, we'll see how it pans out, but as to what draws someone's change of heart now. It doesn't feel like a singular impression, you know, like a personal proclamation. It's like there's something more to it here with the Three of Pentacles, more objective than, I don't know. I'm trying to find a word. More objective than, sincere. I don't know. But anyway, let's keep going a little bit. Like they got something to prove, you know, especially with that Knight of Swords, Yeah, like exactly. I know I be knowing when I be knowing when I feel something. Yeah, there's some ulterior motive here. It's not so pure. It's like what's the right phrase, like to conquer or to capture, like no, like somebody that would try to get the girl just to say they got the girl, but they let their ambitions and like their drive kind of take over, and not long after realize that they don't even really want the girl, or they don't want to be the man that the girl truly needs. They just wanted to win, or wanted to win the prize or claim the victory in some way, shape, or form, claim that territory as, almost objectifying the female as something to win, or again, conquer, obtain, captivate, capture, hell, literally with the Eight of Swords here. Somebody that will be willing to say a whole bunch of nothing to get someone to soften their heart to their point of view, or to the possibility of some regeneration of partnership, or reconsideration of partnership, but really wouldn't be up for the challenge, is what I'm feeling. Or wouldn't be in it for the long haul. Over time, they would either become distracted with outside interference again, or just bored. Like once you got the prize, when you conquered the territory, it's like, now what? It wouldn't work out for the feminine energy in this regard nearly as much as it would work out for the masculine. Oh. Yeah, exactly. And it would be binding for the two of them ultimately here, because he would have proved himself a worthy opponent to the challenge. But then what? Look how he looking at her. like he don't even like her. I'm sensing some disdain here on account of all the energy he may have had to exert to prove himself. So there may be some like resentment for how he had to humble himself, or, present himself to be a worthy partner that doesn't make him feel proud to have overcome. It seems like he feels a bit burdened or fatigued by it. And that's the case, is when it becomes more like work, or like a job or an obligation or some type of challenge or charge, but not really just pure devotion and passion. This is not King of Wands energy. It's wounded warrior energy, like somebody that wish they had a V8 when it's all said and done. Ooh, way too much, but let's see what it is since we got time today. We got the World card. Wow. Whoa. We got the World card, which is the close of something, very successful chapter or cycle. Wow, this healing and destiny card here. Alignment with purpose, So something is definitely, yeah, whatever this plan of action is definitely in alignment. And the King of Wands, the Queen of Wands is now showing up here looking like, you know, this is the proper matchup. Lo and behold, this is who she amounts to be, as the energy of a high vibrational or a high value woman. She has a spiritual expression of the Queen of Wands. As a star, with star card energy, that's definitely affirming, you know, what I said earlier about this just being that soulmate vibe. Whether you're a fire sign, water sign, it doesn't really matter, but just really speaking with the Queen of Wands is somebody highly attractive, aesthetically and energetically, someone confident, secure, ambitious, so many things I could say about the Queen of Wands, but, you know, definitely one to get the juices flowing, if you know what I mean, in terms of attractive force. And it seems like somebody sees what they want, and they're willing to get it, to go get it in some way, shape, or form. Like they got the world in their hands, which means they don't see any feat too great to ultimate, like he's facing the stars. So it's like knowing the nature of the object of affections, but seeing it as this very ascended being, seeing her as this very ascended being, like one of a kind type of energy. And the world card here is saying that this is a new beginning on the horizon. Like whatever needed to be done to close out the to close out any unfinished business was done so successfully on both sides, to put these two people at this point here in the Two of Cups, where they can both be on the same page at the same time, you know, which is half the battle when we're talking about potential of partnership in any way, shape, and form. But this is like cycles closed, you know, baggage released, old karmic cycles complete, perhaps. I can take liberty to say that on account of the star card, meaning that there's been some extensive healing here, some alignment or realignment with one's own supreme self and whatever path or trajectory that is, and a commitment to it, like a passionate plan toward it. You know, somebody just knows what they want. And sure enough, the Queen of Wands definitely knows what she wants without being asked. You know, it's like, you will know if you are the object of her of her passion, for sure. It's nothing that can be faked or frauded, you know. So it's giving new love here, I gotta say. I'm liking it. I'm loving it, actually. Wow. Wheel of Fortune. Sheesh. And I just said, like, I can take liberty to say old cycles, karmic cycles closed. Yeah, I can take that liberty. Somebody laid some things, some people, because in order for this even to be a possibility to the point where the masculine is poised to pursue, the feminine would have needed to also clear out her karmic debt to be an attractive force. You know, it takes two to tango, as we say. It's not one-sided, as I said. Like, half the battle is being on the same page at the same time. You might have a soulmate situation, which many of us can attest to, where you feel ready and willing and able, but the other person may have some things to tie up, old relationships, baby mama drama, or past, just got divorced or separated or whatever, or just still got some blemishes from a failed relationship, or just finding themselves spiritually, really on a journey of self-discovery and maturation naturally, which makes sense as well. Pursuing a career, expanding their business or their brand, and they don't have time for no relationship, or they don't want to make time, for a relationship. It could be a number of things as to why there could be all the love in the world available, but it not be in the divine timing to really tap into that life force. But when the timing is right, oof, that's this overflow right here. When the timing is right, it's like it brings your heart to tears, happy tears. And it makes you feel like, all in one regard, you could consider in reflection, like, well, dang, all the time that you spent to get to a certain point of readiness or availability or willingness. But then when you get to a point where you're there and then another person is there too, and it's so clear and obvious and magical even, it's like everything that you went through, even on account of this feeling of being a wounded warrior, or this feeling of being blocked and bound and almost sabotaged in love at every turn, it makes everything worth it, because you can see the reason for the detours. You can appreciate why there had to be a wait, there needed to be a delay, there needed to be a detour, Everything is worth it, because you know that if you had pushed the issue a moment too soon, you would never have made it to this point of pure connection. You might be standing here with your cup ready to give, and he's like, oh, I still got some stuff I need to get out of my system. Or he might be here with his cup ready to give, and you're like, oh, I still don't trust men, or I don't trust love, or, I've been hurt too much, So it's getting those kinks out the system so that both can be available and ready and able and willing and open to all possibilities of this overflow. This is pretty beautiful. And I feel like the contrast here, even with what opportunities have been missed or whom has missed an opportunity, I feel like it's less about it being an actual person and more so speaking to what I'm saying now, that everything mattered. Whether it was a relationship that seemed to have been worthless or done more harm than helped you, it all helped, because it cultivated a self-awareness for your own vulnerabilities of where you may be selling yourself short, giving too little, or not expecting enough, where you were allowing yourself, more or less like just taking what you could get, thinking that was the best that there was to, that was the best possibility, when in your heart you knew you wanted more or something different or whatever. Even to the point of the energy here with the Four of Cups, he ain't do no wrong by feeling like there was more in store for him elsewhere. It doesn't even really matter how well packaged the presentation may be, or how well presented the package may be, I should say. If you don't feel it naturally in your heart that that's the thing for you, then you're in alignment to seek otherwise, or to seek soul search as to why that is or isn't. But you definitely don't ever have to settle. Nobody ever has to settle. There's no harm, no foul. And for those that may have, that have the jaded perspective, even to look back and feel like, oh, damn, I missed out, or I missed the boat. No, you didn't. It obviously wasn't for you. It wasn't your boat. It wasn't your partner. It wasn't your love. It wasn't your opportunity, you know? And to reflect upon it in any spirit of regret is not productive. It's not forwarding. If anything, it's like having a great point of reference for a standard, you know, to say, you know what, maybe that wasn't it for me, but I know that that's a good starting point. You know, it got to at least have this, and this for, you know, to give me that feeling or that, you know, to evoke that passion or that willingness, that drive to love within me for me to even consider it or entertain it. And ain't nothing wrong with having standards in that regard, you know. But certainly with the Nine of Wands, it's about taking that energy and realizing that there's still so much more future ahead of you and that you're stronger for what you've encountered, not weaker. But it's a matter of perspective, as everything is. Even here with the Eight of Swords, as I spoke about the feminine or masculine, of course, but here is the feminine energy that could feel bound in love, like just struck out too many times, backstabbed, hurt, betrayed so many times that she may be afraid to open up. But it's a matter of how you see those experiences. They were lessons. Like I said, they showed you your vulnerabilities, your weak spots, the places where you may have been taking yourself for granted, where you can really assert that experience to your own self as your own, for your own accountability for self, you know, and not blame shifted externally exclusively anyway. There are some people that do some nasty things, but even still, we get to reflect upon how we were vulnerable to be affected by it, or how we allowed it, you know, or just simply how we know better for the next time. That's just as valuable as anything. How we can readjust and remagnetize our energy to attract what we want more of and not, you know, the opposite. So here's the Wheel of Fortune. Let's get one more, and I'm gonna keep it short and simple today. Oh man, the Strength card. Yes, this is how it's come out on the other end. Powerful, wise, victorious amidst struggle, knowing that the strength doesn't turn off. You know, what you've cultivated is for you to keep in the arsenal for the rest of your life, you know. And there is nothing wrong with that. It's an added asset to your arsenal, so that even when you are in a position of like some type of mutual and balanced, harmonious partnership, you still can hold the value of, you can hold your weight, you know, in that space, not to overpower, not to overrun, not to project pride and ego, you know, not to be overindulgent as well, because the Strength card speaks to that, having a balance between your primal and your spiritual nature, but really just finding strength in your, I don't even know how to say that, like, I don't know. It's just once you're seeing yourself in a certain reflection of strength, you can never unsee it. You know, like once you've seen all that you have been through and been able to overcome in a positive sense, not just like, oh, I'm just a wounded warrior out here on the battlefield, I just barely made it out alive. The Wheel of Fortune is speaking to having closed those cycles with some acceptance and understanding, and with a fortitude of how to push ahead, move forward in your destiny. Like, it's not, this is moving with the wave of the universe, with cosmic order, in alignment with evolution, as however it's playing out in your life. You know, not moving against the grain, but very much so moving with the cosmic wave, allowing it to guide you, which is, as we know, like no better place to be. But still being strong within that flow. That is the exhibition of strength, as it is, to know exactly how to express assertiveness, but also be to be assertive, but also to be submissive to the cosmic order, is that happy medium between the carnal and spiritual self. That means that you're not fighting for your own vitality and mortality and to be sensationally satisfied, exclusively overindulgent, and you know, all of those things. And you're not necessarily living in the clouds exclusively either, where you know you have no touch with the 3D world or with reality as it truly tangibly is. It's a beautiful balance between the two, and kind of knowing how to dance in the balance as needed, as guided, as ordained, as anointed to. That's not an easy feat. And certainly it's not easy to come to that realization on your own, but certainly if, as you have, is why here is this gift of love here, where not only are you standing in that powerful essence of love and bliss, but now you've attracted that, back to the Queen of Wands, you've attracted that energy to you in the way that it can only be gifted to you. Like, again, it being a special gift, that this may be even you having denied many suitors along the way, until alas, the one that was absolutely for you finally presented itself, because you finally presented yourself as wholly and complete as you are. And it made space for those two forces to finally magnetize toward one another. That's powerful. That's powerful, and that's a force to be reckoned with, and a force not to be reckoned with, solo or collectively. You know, like, once you can find yourself sturdy in a space such as this, where like your experiences have really solidified you, like they have affirmed you. Nobody can really tell you much different as to how confident you really do get to be, like king of the jungle, queen of the jungle type energy here, in physical form, in human form. No one can take that essence away from you. No thing, no circumstance, no place can dispute that. And that means that every time this wheel turns, you could evolve 100 times more in this lifetime, you get to take that confidence, that security, that stability, that boldness with you along for the journey. And that's full proof. That means you could literally evolve 1,000 times as needed and still maintain the integrity of you as a sacred being. This is dope. Yeah, great expectations on the horizon. 3, you have a lot to look forward to. A lot to look forward to. Let's see what's on the bottom. the star again. You have a lot to look forward to, and somebody is looking forward to you. It's just like, I'm coming to get you. That's this energy here. Wow. What else can I glean from this? So we got the Three of Swords waiting for your ships to come in. Maybe it's just a matter of time before, I don't know, before you see the evidence of all that I just said, if you don't already see it. But I feel like there's a different revelation that's coming to pass now than ever before. You may even have evidence of how amazing you are in different ways that make sense. I'm sure we all do, even in the ways that we don't really honor holistically. Some things that we may even take for granted. But there's something about this star energy coming out a second time that's just undeniable. You know, it's like the brightest star, you can't miss it type of energy, to the point where you won't be able to take for granted just how special you are anymore. And it will go without saying, even for those that observe from the outside looking in, if that's even a thing, if that even matters. But I feel universally it does matter, and that's the purpose of, you know, this process of sorts. You know, as I said in the very beginning, about lending yourself to this process of evolution, of evolving from your simple self, where maybe your expectations weren't even all that great of you, to supreme, living in the light that the universe, the divine, has carved out for you specifically, spectacularly, as a matter of fact. Nothing small and simple about it, even if we revere it to be so. It's very special. And I feel like this is what that is. It's like not being able to really like sleep on yourself, you know, like really not being able to dull your own shine if you tried. That even you will shine brighter to yourself than you ever could have imagined. And hopefully, as I said, that'll just continue to fuel your energy to continue to grow and evolve and achieve and expand and explore. Because with the Wheel of Fortune, that's not a one-shot deal. Like, that's cyclical, that's everlasting. It can keep going and growing as long as you're down for the ride, you know? And with the star energy, it says that you've already achieved a great success and a great potential just in being yourself, and still there's so much more. There are literally unlimited possibilities here. That's what this is giving. Unlimited expectations is what you can have on yourself and of yourself. For there always to be this expectation and even entitlement for good ships to be coming in. Obviously, you've done something to render yourself available, willing, able for this anointing, this great gift and ordinance of supreme life force, an overflow of love from the inside out. That's the most precious commodity in this realm, especially right now. Somebody that's just a walking well of love that never stops. It's unconditional. It's no matter what's been done to you, no matter what situations you go through, no matter how many times you fell or fall and get back up, how many times you so-called fail and live to face another day, you always do it with the spirit of love. oh yeah, that is a gift to embody, and it is a gift to be. So, I don't even know what to say. Congratulations. Well done. Enjoy yourself. Receive all that's coming to you. Celebrate, as I said, your transformation, not even to the point, as I said, it's ever evolving. So not like, okay, I'm done here, or I have so much more to go, but just really celebrating yourself at this point. If you were a yes to the journey of transcendence and transformation, transcendence by way of transformation just today, that's a pivotal point of celebration, because not everybody is a yes to that journey, and it certainly is not an easy one to make. So for those that are a little farther along the path, you certainly should appreciate yourself for staying devoted to that journey. And I wish you well and Godspeed and peace, abundance, protection, and more passion along the way, every step of the way. Yeah, it's beautiful. So happy Good Friday. Again, thank you for listening and watching. Continue to enjoy your holiday and your festivities in peace and in love and celebration, not sadness. We're celebrating transformation in this season. If any death be acknowledged, is for the purposes of rebirth. And it already is so, apparently. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Until next time, as always, I leave you with peace.